Hello everyone and welcome to NeMoZGameZ. Today we're going to be doing our first edition on the first Descendent walkthrough beginner's guide. This game's been out for just about a year and it's time to start helping out some of the newer players coming on board. But even if you've been playing for a while, hopefully you'll pick up some tips and tricks. This might start out kind of slow, but we're going to get into it. After you watch the first cutscene,
So, who is going to take this on?
you will be given a choice between 3 opening characters. It doesn't really matter which one you pick, as long as you know what kind of player you are. First, we have Lepic. His first ability, he just chucks a grenade. His second ability here is more like an overclock. It supercharges his gun or his grenade. As long as it's activated first, turn it on, shoot, or throw. It'll be stronger. His third ability is more like a vacuum cleaner. You throw it, it pulls them all into one location. As you level them up, the range of this can get pretty big. His fourth ability is more like a supercharged arm cannon. You're going to throw fireballs at people, and it's going to kill them in the area of effect. Although it does get a little cumbersome because the guys move around a lot, you might want to just throw it at bosses. And finally, his passive skill, which basically just tells you that even though he might be down, he is not out. Then we're going to move on to Ajax over here, who is as beefy as he looks.
Leave it to me. Defense is my forte.
His first ability basically just puts up a shield that blocks enemy incoming fire. It has a chance to reflect it back to him, but that doesn't mean it's going to hit him. His second ability is like a bunny hop. He's going to slump on the ground and hurt and cause area of effect damage. His third ability is a concussion blast, I guess you could say. It's going to push them all back. His fourth ability is going to put out a barrier dome. When using an enhanced skill, grants the barrier enhancement, effective to all allies. So he's buffing. His passive skill. There's this other stuff called void energy, and you don't have to worry about that right now, but it's going to happen. And then moving on to the only one left in the room, Viessa. She's basically a mage.
Seems like my kind of job. Wouldn't it be easier if I just froze everything?
So if we scope out what she does, her first ability basically just throws ice daggers, but it gives her 3 floating daggers that will shoot kind of randomly at the enemies as you get close to them. Her second ability gives her fast feet and freezes the ground behind her, so if any enemies walk into it, they also get damaged. Moving on to her third ability, she basically just throws a bunch of ice in front of her, but this doesn't work if you're jumping or in the air. Moving on to her fourth ability. This is kind of like Lepic's gun arm, but this is with ice, so if the enemies are in motion, it's kind of tough to keep them in the area, but it works great for bosses. Moving on to her passive ability. This is describing those 3 orbs that seemingly float around your head. They're basically going to attack stuff for you. And if you just end up hovering over the stats down here, it'll give you their total base stats at any given moment. So just pick one according to your play style. Do you want more health? Do you want more defense? Do you want to play with some magic more? And it doesn't really matter which one you pick. This is a looter shooter. You will be getting a lot of materials to build everything, including these characters you see in the room today. But for now, let's just get through the tutorial. This onboarding could take about an hour. But because I've played before, I'm picking Viessa. And as soon as you're done going through all of this, you get a cutscene to watch, which are pretty cool. I recommend you stick around for them. but I'm not going to show them in this video today. So we're going to hop right back out as soon as that cutscene's over, and now you get to learn how to move. Now that we've landed on our feet, we've all played games before, you're going to move around and head towards the mission tags. They're this little green diamond in the sky. There is a jump, a double jump, and then we're also going to go explore our grapple. Our grapple hook only works when you grapple to something. So you can grapple to the edge, you can grapple to a wall, you can grapple to the ground. For now. There are some upgrades for this later. We'll cover that later. But there are many upgrades depending on your playstyle. So for now, we're just going to get through the parkour, get a feel for the controls, and once we make it to the top, we're going to end up going through another cutscene. So bear with me while I just work my way through this, and you see the mission tag changes, and it was out of range. I couldn't quite grab that. So the grapple has to be within range. You see the little red dot that shows up? That's going to help out a lot. Now that we've made it through that cutscene, I know this is a beginner's guide, but we're going to go through the UI, the user interface. What is all of this stuff that we're looking at right now? So hopefully you're only going to need this once, but some of this information is very useful. As we get further into the game, there'll be more UI elements that pop up, but for now, you're going to be living with these for a while, so we're going to cover them. So first up, we have the mini-map. This is going to show you what direction you're getting shot from, if there's any guys in the vicinity, and there's also a small compass attached to this. There's a little north and a little south. They're very small, but this is going to be what mission you're on at any given moment. This is going to tell you your main mission objective. We get down here, this is going to be your grapple hook. For now, you have 2 grapple hooks, and then this is also going to be your melee punch button. Down here, we have our 4 magic abilities. It's going to be the same for every Descendant that you have. They only have 4. So I would like to say that this is your first slot, and as you rank up, because we're still at level 0, these are locked out, but if you notice up here, we're at level 1. We'll discuss more of that later. But as you work your way up the chain, number 2 will become available. As you get a little further, number 3 will become available, and further still, number 4 will become unlocked for you. Here is where your ammo is going to be displayed. Right now I have infinite ammo, so we have the infinity symbol, but this is not going to be the case. It's just that way for the tutorial. This next bar over here is your health and shield. Right now I have the numbers displayed of my total health and shield. On default, it's not going to be like this. We also can only carry 3 guns. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter which ones you have in the slot. You can always switch back and forth between the 3 of them. So from here, we're going to go into the menu options. I'm on controller, so I basically just hold down the start button. You might be on PC. I believe that will be escape. But going through these options early is going to help you get on the right footing so you know what is crashing your game. If that happens, you understand how to adjust volumes, audio levels, incoming party voices, your mic going to the outside. So once you hit the start button, clearly we're just going to go into the options here. Graphics. If you're on PC, you're going to have more options than somebody that's on PlayStation or Xbox. I generally keep mine low on the PC, but you can also auto set them too based on your graphics card. For the remainder of this video, I'm going to go ahead and put it on high because I think it kept my settings from the other account. VSync is something that's also for PC players. It doesn't necessarily have to be on or off. It doesn't matter which one, but you can generate a frame rate based on your monitor condition. So if you have a 120 hertz monitor or 60 hertz monitor, you can change that here. All of this other stuff is just visibility, and because I selected it to high up top, it's automatically going to clear this. But make sure to keep motion blur off. inside the gameplay, this has probably got some of the most important settings. So, obviously, if you want friends, you're going to want to accept all so you don't miss out on an invite. If you're a private person, you can turn all of that off. We have show center icon. We have hide nicknames, display title. So this is all for other players that are in the game. Down here in chat settings, this is for the world chat or typing out chat to somebody else. This section down here, damage display options. So this is going to let you know whether or not you can turn on and off status effects, seeing weapon damage, display damage per enemy. That's what this section's about. Down here in control method, this is also going to be some of your aiming and toggling controls. Default movement speed, attack. Just take your time and go through some of this and tweak them as you see fit. But some of the most important ones are your skill cooldown details. You might want to turn these on because if they're off, you're just going to see a gray bar indicating the cooldown. If you have it on, it's actually going to display seconds. So it'll tell you exactly you've used this skill. It's not going to take 10 seconds to recharge. Another important one down here is explosives. So stuff blows up in this game. If you're running and you notice your game crashing or you can't see anything, you might want to change this. So you can change it to just show only your explosions. You can change it to hide all targets, which is generally what we recommend, because if somebody else is in your party and they're using a grenade launcher, you're not going to be able to see anything. So try to keep this off. If you're having problems, remember that it's here, so you can turn it off. Next, all the way down at the bottom, we have dynamic motion level. This is for the physics that are in the game, mainly for the females. So you can turn it off, you can turn it weak, or you can turn it strong. I leave it on strong. It's my personal preference because I think it's really funny. Next tab, we have the audio tab. This also has some pretty important options you're going to want to go through. So again, these were all set to my personal preference because it didn't bring over the defaults. Yours is all going to be different, but we'll try to talk about what is happening in each box. So voice chat options. Obviously, you're going to want voice chat on unless you don't want to talk to anybody ever. You're going to turn that off. Next, we have voice channel. This is going to indicate whether or not you can only talk to people that are invited to your party or randos that are also in your squad. So if you can't hear the randos in your squad, you might want to check this to see if you're on party channel. Microphone. This is pretty self-explanatory. Even if you have a mute button, there's an in-game mute button, so you can have it off. Mic volume. This is how loud you are going to sound to somebody else on the other end. You're not going to hear this number, but if somebody is complaining that you're too loud, you're going to want to come in here and adjust this. Or if they're asking if you're too quiet, I can't hear you, you're going to want to make sure that that's marked up. Speaker volume, obviously this is for your television or all outbound sound. And speaker volume. This is how loud somebody sounds to you. So if you're in a party or your friends or in a squad and somebody sounds really, really loud, you're might going to want to turn this down. You see mine's only set to 2. It's because I have very sensitive ears. And then down here, master volume, music volume, environmental sounds. So how loud do you want stuff? Spend some time, go through this, check your sound effects, check your master volume. check everything. This game has really good sound quality, and because of that, people that have good sound, and because of that, people that have good ears, some of this might be too loud. Get familiar with these options, change them as you see fit. I really just have my sound effects turned down to 1 because it controls all the other ones underneath it. UI elements, system elements, items that you pick up from the ground, there is literally a sound setting for everything that happens in the game. Voice options. This is going to be the dialogue that the NPCs are talking at you with. So how loud are they versus how loud the environment is. Okay, so display resolution. If the game doesn't look that great to you, you might want to adjust your settings. This is your field of view. You can turn that up or down. If you've played many other games in the past, you're going to know and be familiar with some of this. Keyboard and mouse. If you're a keyboard and mouse player, this is where you can key bind your stuff. Controller. Obviously, if you play on controller, this is where you're going to adjust your vibration function. I have it off because the controller vibrates every time you do something. Cursor speed. How fast the cursor is going to move if you're in a menu or selecting stuff. Your Y and your axis, you can invert that if you like. Your dead zones, if you have a really messed up controller that's got stick drift, you can adjust that here. And then finally, the account settings. You can link your account if you want. So if you're on Steam, you can tell them about it. If you're on PlayStation, you can link your account here. This is where you can get your personalized Nexus account number as well. Down here at the bottom is going to be the most important section. Enter coupon. Over time, they do release free coupons that might get you an extra energy activator or crystalline catalyst or some gold or some Kuiper or maybe some XP bonuses. Either way, you're going to want to look out for some of those, but when you find them, you're going to enter them here. Okay, so now that we're done going through these UI elements, let's get back to the action. As we move through here, it's not really that big a deal. You're just going to learn how to follow the mission tags. So whatever you're on, wherever you're at, you're going to keep pushing forward. But it's going to give you a prompt every so often. You know, obviously we're going to shoot some guys, have some fun, cut it up, maybe use a skill or two. But we're going to get a tutorial here real soon the second we try to pick up some ammo. And this is where we're going to discuss the 4 different ammo types. Basically, there are 4 types of ammo. White ammo is the most common. It will drop the most often. Green ammo is a little less common, but you're still going to see it around quite a bit. Orange ammo is even less common. And finally, the purple ammo is special rounds, is kind of rare. You're going to be happy when you find some of it. But that's going to cover your launchers and your sniper rifles for that category. And you can tell what type of ammo you're using in any particular gun. You see I just picked some up. It flashed in the bottom corner. I picked up some white ammo. So I have 3 guns. We discussed this earlier. That's showing me the 3 colors of the ammo type down there. Right now I'm just using a gun that's taking the white ammo. But I also have a gun equipped that's going to take green ammo. And then finally my shotgun down at the bottom over there, that's going to take the purple ammo. Right now, because it's the tutorial, we're just going to cycle through, but I have infinite ammo of each. When you get into the normal game, this is not going to be the case. But it will show you and where to look so you know what weapon you're using at any given moment. As we get through a couple more rooms here, we're going to get another tutorial pop up. This is going to be how you actually punch stuff. So you do have a melee attack. On controller, you have to press both of the shoulder buttons at the same time. If you're on PC, you can actually keybind this to just make it one action. And there are some upgrades for your punching maneuver as well. It's not used all that often because why would you want to punch stuff if you have a gun? But it's there in case you need it. So we just need to make it through a couple more rooms here, and we're going to get yet another tutorial about our magic. Because this is onboarding, the game is automatically going to give me these. As we walk forward to this next enemy, we're going to get that tutorial pop up, which is basically explaining my frost feet and my ice daggers. So it wants me to just go ahead and try some of these and try it out, right? Your controls are going to be different, but basically, these are your magic abilities. Don't forget that you have them. Yes, you can shoot everything if you'd like, but these are going to be very, very handy in the future. And then it's going to describe our blizzard ability. So we can use that. And it's supposed to knock out hordes, but again, they kind of move around a lot. In the photo, they're standing still. That's not the case in real gameplay. So expect to just really use that on bosses. So really all I'm doing here is I'm just showcasing some of the abilities to show you what they actually do for her. Again, if you picked a different character, it's okay. Just this is your time to play with them. So now that we've cleared that room, we're just going to keep on moving towards the mission markers and killing any of the bad guys that are in our way. So as we get through this last room, we're probably going to get another cutscene. Just be prepared for that. We're going to cut that out of this video and move on to the next thing. So now that we've made it through the cutscene and we're back out into the open world, we will be introduced to the Colossi bosses. These are essential to the storyline, and you're going to fight one every time you complete a biome. So this is showing you a small tutorial about how to use your radar. Basically, they call it a sieve in this game, but it's going to show you where the weak points are. So for every Colossi, there are weak points that you can get to highlight or flash when you use your radar. On PC, you're going to be pressing tab. On controller, you're actually going to be pressing in one of your thumbsticks to show this up. But when you press it, it's going to display where these weak points are on any given Colossi that you're fighting. Now that we have made it to our first boss fight, this is more of like a mini boss. He's weak, but I'm going to do what the tutorial says and flash up my sieve, and it's going to show me the weak points. What it doesn't tell you is that if these pieces of armor are yellow, you can grapple to them and go ahead and rip these pieces off. So I am just kind of toying with this guy right now so I can give you a good example of what's happening. And also to let you know that you can't hit it when it's gray. You won't be able to grapple to it. I'm going to sit here and wait for it to turn yellow. When it does, I'm going to grapple to it, but this is also like a dual wielding action. So you can't just grapple to it and expect to rip it off. You have to like hold the left trigger, you know, your ADS, your aim down sights button, and you have to punch it with your trigger button. So he's trying to shake me off, and really the left trigger is keeping me stable and holding me onto his armor piece, where the right trigger button is actually doing the damage. But if you can get one of these to rip off, it's going to cause massive damage to the actual Colossi that you're fighting at any given moment. This guy is just a weakling. It's the game's part of showing you what these things are and how to fight them. You will encounter stronger ones as you go along. There's going to be one that you're going to have to fight at the end of every biome that you unlock.
Now's our chance! Finish it!
Loading.
After that cutscene, you'll be presented with Albion for the very first time in your journey. This is the main hub where all the action happens. But because it's your first time, you're going to be greeted with any events that they have shown up, maybe some battle pass stuff, but they do give daily login rewards because there's always an event going on. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff right now because really we just want to get to the killing. You can explore it if you like, but that's not what this guide is about. Now that we've made it through a few voice lines, this is the main hub. It's a relatively big place. Explore, but if you touch anything, you're going to get like a little tutorial pop up, so be careful about what you interact with. Really, I'm just going to show you the most important features of the game at this point that you should know about. So starting out front in this door jamb here, we have 2 items. One's got a gold tag over it, basically telling you to go check it out. But that's going to be what you would refer to as your mailbox. And it is located right here. The other one on the other side is going to be your storage box. You may not have access to this right now, but try to remember where they're at. There's also another set. We're going to go explore that right now. So it doesn't matter what side of town that you were on, there are 2 different locations for these. As we move over to the other side of town, so I can show you where the other mailbox and storage box is, we're going to make a pit stop. I want to show you this because it's going to be very important as you level up your characters, because most people are going to be confused. But if you walk up to anybody in any situation, as long as they're standing still, you can hold down your thumbstick if you're on controller to view Descendent. And what this is going to allow you to do is actually check out their build, what kind of armor they have, what kind of mods they have equipped, what kind of weapons they're using, and you can inspect any character at any given moment. So if you're wondering why this person is so strong, you can scope that out. This is where the other 2 box locations are. You're going to want to know these because you're going to be dumping a lot of inventory into here. We're going to cover that later. Again, this is only part 1. I just wanted to show you where these are at. So again, we have a mailbox over here and we have a storage box over here. So as we explore this place, I still recommend don't touch too many things because you're going to get a tutorial pop up that you'll never see again. So I will explain them in later guides, but right now you really just want to know what to do next. So we're going to sit down and explain what's going on your first time inside Albion. As we look over here to the left-hand corner, you're going to notice your radar and this tag underneath. This is what you're supposed to be doing next. It says talk to the guide, and then the purple tag is where you're supposed to go. So just keep following these for now. While we're in the main hub, there is no fighting, so every objective that you have to do in here really involves talking or storyline. But you'll know that you're in the right place, so when you go up to the tag, there's going to be another purple tag here showing you what to actually press.
No matter what, the Ironheart.
And every time you talk to somebody, you most likely will have to talk to somebody else. So you see that the marker moved. It is now telling me to go somewhere else and talk to Alpha. He's inside the headquarters. You're going to be visiting this place a lot, but you see the purple tag moved over there. So as I open up the map to inspect my location, I'm going to get a tutorial about the map. This is what I mean. Every time you touch something, you're going to end up with a tutorial. I already know how to locate this and move around a little bit, but it's just going to give me a quick little pop-up to let me know what the icons are, some of the cursors, what you can do while you're in here. So once I'm finally clicking through the tutorial and just kind of reading what it says, it's going to actually let me view the world map for the first time. Right now, the only thing we have available to us is the main hub because we have to go talk to Alpha inside HQ. Once we talk to Alpha, we'll gain access to the next biome. So you'll notice as we get closer, the purple tag becomes more relevant. As we talk to Alpha, it's going to tell us, yes, this is where we're supposed to be. Once you get through that cutscene, this is what I mean by the tutorial. It's trying to tell me now to open up my map. Well, I kind of already did that, so what do I do now? Well, I do what it's telling me to do, even though I've done it before. You're going to notice some of that in this game. You're going to do stuff, and then it's going to ask you to do it again. Because the prompt didn't show up at the time that you did it. So now the game thinks that you never did it, and it's going to want you to do it again. But this time when we open it up, it's going to show us that this next biome is unlocked. We're going to move to Kingston, indicated by the little purple dot. So if you get confused and you run out of purple tags for your main mission in any given area, open up the world map and see if it moved to a different biome. So as we move away from them, I thought about inspecting the mailbox here for the first time, but I really just ended up trying to get rid of the tutorial that's on my world map. So it's telling me to press up on the D-pad because I'm on controller, but really once I open it up and finally go here, look at this, I get another tutorial trying to explain to me what the actual map looks like. So we're going to talk about this for a minute, but basically you're really only concerned with the outposts at this point. They're the little green icon that's going to show up on the map. There are certain fast travel points that you will unlock along the way, but these will always be unlocked, and you can invite players, switch descendants, generally in these locations only. Okay, so now we're going to check out our inventory for the first time as a brand new player. And guess what? We're going to get another tutorial. So you can see here on this screen, which you will be getting very familiar with as you play along. The guns are listed over here on the left-hand side. As you see, I don't have any because I didn't pick anything up during the tutorial. The reactors over here, they did give me one, but I don't have any to swap out with. And this is where all of your experience is going to be listed as far as your character experience and your mastery rank, which is going to be the most important as we move along. So this is where we're going to go open the mailbox for the first time as a new player. And they give you a bunch of goodies in here. So you're going to get familiar with this thing. You're going to visit it probably more than once a day. Every time you do something in one of the events, your rewards will show up here in this box. Because we're a new player, they give us a whole bunch. Just go ahead and collect all your rewards, equip the backpack if you want, but we're not going to use any of this stuff right now, especially this energy activator. This is a rare item, and you won't really get any more until you reach hard mode. Because it's so rare, we're going to do another tutorial on this later. So we're going to go ahead and open up the menu like it asked earlier in the tutorial, and we're going to find our purple marker. Here we go, heading off to Kingston. Back to that outpost. You see the purple markers right here. Like I said, usually whenever you land somewhere, you're going to end up talking to somebody, and then they're going to point you to the mission. Now that we've made it through that cutscene, he's basically escorting me to let me know that, hey, you're going to have to talk to somebody every time this purple tag is in an outpost. So let's go cover that, and we'll get on to our first mission. Real quick sidebar, there are these things over here every time you enter an area or dungeon. Basically, they're called a memory sink, and they just let you rewatch cutscenes that you have seen before. So let's talk to this guy, Marcus, and push forward with the tutorial.
Do you have a question? Thank you for all your hard work during the operation to retrieve the Ironheart.
Security Corps! We're under attack from the Vulcans! We need support!
Security Corps, respond! Security Corps! Damn it! Descendant, looks like the Vulcans have arrived. Comms are already down. Use the emergency communicator to contact HQ while I try to get a handle on the situation.
Now that we're done talking to him, you'll see that the mission marker has finally moved, and it's letting us know here in the tutorial that this is going to be your main objective. You're going to want to always follow these. And it's back off in the background. We're going to just move through the map, and we're going to walk up to the mission tag for the first time, and I'll explain what we're actually looking at. you the mission tag for the first time. It's going to give you all of the generic information about the mission that you're about to fight. Could take 2 minutes or less, but we have a bunch of stuff listed in this box. Here at the top is what you're going to get for gold and weapon experience. Every weapon in this game needs to be leveled to 40, just like your Descendants. This is where your character XP is. So once you reach level 40, which is going to take a while your first time through, but you can put like extra stuff on your character to make it stronger. This here is the most important tag. You will only see this one time. This is your mastery rank. This is very crucial to the gameplay, and you will be soft locked out of certain things until you increase this number. This is going to be a very important number as we go along through this guide, and I will show you the quickest way to achieve more of this. Okay, so way down here at the bottom, you're going to see the weapons that we will get for completing this mission. They're not really that important. If you find a stronger one, feel free to swap it out. These over here are the modules. This is what increases your character damage and your weapon damage. You will have some for every category. There are a lot of mods in the game, 700 plus. But before we do that, let's hit our radar button, our ACEIVE button, and see what happens. This would show any bad guys that are in the general area, or what you saw flash up are boxes, munitions, resource, things that we can get as kind of a bonus. But let's move towards the mission marker.
Stay where you are.
Quickly, destroy their comms. These bastards. This doesn't feel like a simple raid. They seem to be after this place.
So like I said, we're just going to move through. We're going to kill the things that are in our way. It's just letting us know where the bad guys are. And you see that? That's a weapon that we can pick up off the ground. But this is where we're going to start getting all of those bells and whistles I was referring to. I'm completing challenges, the battle pass, the season challenges, all of this stuff that pops up on top of the screen is optional. The only thing you're looking for really is your first mastery rank, which will be popping up before too long.
Descendant. All networks within Kingston are currently down. The emergency communicator has also been taken out. This is the first time.
Okay, now that we're finally done with our first mission, we're going to go on to another side tutorial, tips and tricks, that you might as well be doing as long as you're in a biome, anywhere. This is just the first one, but we're going to show you what these things are. So this thing in front of me right here is called a munitions box. You can walk up and interact with it, and it will give you materials that you're going to need to build stuff later. Can't really do anything with it right now, but hoarding is kind of a thing in this game. You see them all hanging off in the background here. As I flash my radar, it shows me where every single one is that I haven't opened. Now, these do also regenerate over time, so you can come back and keep picking them. Let's get our goodies. Now that we've collected some goodies, we've got one more thing to show you. These do not show up on the radar. These are resource boxes. Same kind of thing as the munitions boxes, except you have to shoot or punch these. They're usually just laying around the map in different corners and areas, but again, more materials that could drop ammo, it could drop health, could drop magic. So you're going to want to punch these or shoot them whenever you see them. So every time you pick up something, it's going to flash what it is in the bottom right-hand corner. These go by really quick, so if you're trying to look for something, keep an eye out. Let's head on over to our second mission of the first biome. But as we do so, I want you to notice one thing, and we're going to double back to the other mission tag to make this point. This one is also going to give me this mastery rank that I was referring to just a few moments ago. As I cancel this, I'm not going to start this mission. I'm actually going to run back to the other tag to show you what the difference is between a mission that I have done and a mission that I have not done. See, when I open up this thing, that symbol is no longer there, because you only get mastery rank for the first time you do something in the game. It could be the first time you do a mission. It could be the first time that you level up a weapon to proficiency 40. The first time you level a Descendant to proficiency 40. So every time you do something, you need to make sure, for now, that you're at least getting mastery rank for it. I just want to stress that because it is very important. You're going to need to get to at least mastery rank level 18 to unlock all of the content in the game.
In order to reach the communications repeater, we need to secure this base first. They'll be attacking from all sides using their assault ship and transmission devices. Proceed with caution.
Huh? I just got here. What's going on? Kingston being invaded?
You're here, buddy. Good. Kingston's entire network has been knocked out by the Vulgus attack.
What? How are we going to communicate? You guys can't use these thieves.
We can manage short-distance communications, but not long-distance. We need the emergency communicator back online.
Ah, so that's why HQ has been so quiet. I'll check on the other outpost. Where am I going?
Go to the base near the theater ruins.
You got it. Headed there now. I'm loading.
I'm sure you've noticed this purple thing by now hovering in the corner. These are like little secret echoes that they buried around the maps. I still haven't found them all because I don't really look all that much, but some of them are pretty blatant and you can walk up and interact with them.
What is up with this weather?
And you see how I had to flash the radar a couple of times to figure out where that last guy was? We'll collect our goodies and get moving. See how this one regenerated in the corner? You don't have to spend a whole lot of time doing this, but
All gates have been blocked. And and it looks like we've lost all our soldiers.
Damn it. Vulgus bastards.
I'll try to go around.
I'll leave you to it. We'll join you once the communications repeater has been reactivated.
I'm loading.
That stopped the gunfire. We should be able to enter the communications relay base.
And now that we have made it through our second mission, at any time you feel like you want to take a break, you can always fast travel back to the outpost and take a break. But as we look out to our third mission, I'm going to end up going into another menu here so I can show you where the quest tab is. It's over here on your map under quest, and lo and behold, we get another tutorial while we're in here. But that's why I'm making this guide, so maybe we can help you figure out what all these tags are. So for now, the game is just pointing us to our main mission tag under quests. We can check our progress and we can select different quests. There are main quest, sub-quest, and then there's specific storyline quests depending on which character you have unlocked at any given moment. We can also target these so we know which ones we're looking at. Like I said, right now it's just pointing me to that third mission I haven't gone to yet. And these other ones are empty because we haven't quite completed the tutorial. But some of these down here, like the beginner's guide, if you complete these quests, you will be given quite a few rewards, some armor, maybe a couple of donuts, another energy activator. So all in all, when you get through these, the game has given you enough to get started. We're going to cover that in the next guide. Stick around for part 2 if you enjoy these. Don't forget to do the stuff that they tell me to tell you to do. NeMoZGameZ signing out.